Hello everyone, and welcome. This is Pat with Cajun Sunshine Crafts. Today am going to attempt something that I have never done before. My son, who's 18, asked me to do a painting for him of a supernova. First of all, I didn't know what a supernova was. Yes, I did not know what a supernova was. I had to look it up. And if you haven't, they are beautiful. Well, today I'm going to attempt to paint one. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I've never done this before. I have these paints here by Finnabar. It's the Art Alchemy acrylic paints, the metallic paints. And these are the colors that I plan on using. And first off, I'm going to paint it. This is the one that I'm going to try to do. Now, whether it comes out like this or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to give it my best shot because he never asked for anything. And I told him that I may try, so he doesn't even know that I'm doing this for him. So I'm hoping it comes out okay. So let's, without further ado, let's try to get into this. And I'm going to use the pastels by Prismacolor to just kind of trace it, draw it out to see where I need to see where my lines need to be, so I don't go off of the canvas. And like I said, this is not going to look exactly like the picture. That's not what I'm shooting for, but I'm hoping to come close because that's the one he likes. So he and I spent 3 hours on the phone with him tutoring me on outer space and supernovas and black holes and using the terms that I had never heard of. Now, I was floored, like absolutely floored about I mean, he explained to me about how the planets were born, how the galaxy was born, and let's see. I think I have an assortment of brushes here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be using yet. I have this big quill brush that I think I'm going to start off with, and I do have a little cup of water here because I know you can mix these paints with a little bit of water to help them flow. I do have a Derwent square water brush here that I may end up using. Let me pull you guys in a little bit closer so you could see what I'm doing at least. Alright. And I may have to turn this light off. Yeah, I think that may be a little better. I'm so sorry for the... Let me try turning on another light. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to open up these blinds and turn on the light. I don't have much... the lighting in here sucks. It's not good at all. But that may help a little bit. Yeah, that helped a lot. I'm not sure if you can see the lines, but... Okay, let's see. I guess I'll just jump right in. I'm not sure exactly. I'll go ahead and shake these up because it's been a while since I used them. And if my arm allows me, I just had surgery on my wrist right here on Valentine's Day. And I've been struggling a little bit. Let's see. I may try to use the paint that's on this. I'm go ahead and put some water on my quill brush. I don't want to use too much because I'm not sure how much water you're supposed to mix with. I think it's just like 25%. I'm going to go on the outer part right here. And this is just a rough draft just to let me know where my lines need to be. He actually got me into, I had to go and search and look for some more information because the things that he was telling me was quite interesting. He was saying how the sun is actually expanding as we speak, and it has been for quite a while now, and that eventually, in years and years and years to come, eventually that the sun is going to explode and create the biggest supernova ever, hence destroying the Earth and everything around it, including our galaxy. And he kind of had me worried for a while, but then he told me that it wouldn't be for millions of years from now. So I was kind of relieved after he told me that. Let's see. I have a sinking suspicion that this is not going to turn out nowhere near what the picture looks like, but I had to give it a go. I had to at least try, but we'll see. It might. Let's see. Over here it has like a little I may have to use more water. I wonder if I use more water, if it'll be, won't be as brush. It looks brushed on. I want it to look brushy. I want it just to look there we go. More natural. And after I add the water, the different colors, this is actually, believe it or not, the first time I paint on a canvas. I've done every single craft, well, no, not every single craft, but I've done quite a few crafts in the last 3 years, and I've recently started into watercoloring, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's something that I will continue doing. That's probably, you'll see some of that on my channel soon, hopefully. And I fell down the rabbit hole of fountain pens. One of my subscribers introduced me to the world of fountain pens, and oh my God, that was quite a mistake. Well, not a mistake because I love them, but gosh, it could get expensive quick with the different kinds of let me make sure that I'm in different kinds of fountain pens they have, and the different kinds of inks and sheens and shimmers and glitter and waterproof and not waterproof. I know it's been a while since I have made a video, and I kind of want to explain what happened there. 3 years ago in February, it made 3 years on February 28th, I went to the dentist to have a root canal done. And whilst he was doing the root canal, he drilled a hole through the root of the tooth. And when he went to put in the sealant into the tooth, it went down into my face, and it killed the main nerve in my face. Well, he knew what he had done right away. Thinking back now with the expression on his face, because when it happened, he stepped back from me, and he stepped back from me and had this look on his face like he knew he had messed up. Well, he didn't say anything. He went along and did the rest of the root canal. But when it did happen, I could feel it. I could feel it entering into my face. It felt like just cold water running into my face. And I mean, he had my mouth open with the big plastic thing, so I couldn't talk. All I could do was feel it going into my face, but I didn't think nothing of it because he didn't say anything. He didn't mention that. He didn't say anything. So time went on. Just so happened I had a teeth cleaning appointment the very next day at his office with one of his dental technicians, assistants, or whatever you call them. And I may have to go back over this because I'm still seeing some brush strokes, but I think I like the way it's coming out with the water added in. Well, the next day I get to his office, and my face was still, everything was still numb. It was like I had just had the procedure. Nothing, like my face was still numb. I didn't have any pain at the time, but I couldn't feel like that side of my face. Like, you know, when you go to a dentist and you have a procedure done, you for the rest of the afternoon or whatever, you feel numb. Well, the next day I was still feeling numb. So while I was there, I asked the assistant if it was normal for me to still be feeling numb. I'm going to switch over to the magenta part of it, which is going to be right here in the middle. And she said absolutely not, that I should not still be feeling numb. So she went on and started cleaning my teeth, and because the doctor was with another patient, but when he was free, they came to tell her when he was free, and so she went to tell him that my face was still numb. So he came, knowing all this time that he had done. Well, he came and he told me that I had a paresthesia, which is paresthesia, that you still numb from the anesthesia, and that the feeling would eventually come back. Well, he gave me, he prescribed me a steroid pack to take that week, where you take a pill or 2 pills for 7 days, or 1 pill and then another pill, and then they last 7 days. I don't know. Well, anyway, that didn't work. That didn't do anything. I was still numb. And that night, the night that that I got the cleaning done, the day after my root canal, my dad had a stroke. And they rushed him to the hospital, and there was nothing that they could do for him at that hospital, so they flew him to a different hospital. So it's been a mess since. So being in the hospital with my dad, I didn't think anything of it. Well, my lips started burning like I would have had chapped lips. And I thought that's all it was, from the dry air in the hospital, taking care of my dad. And I thought it was just chapped lips. So we went to the hospital, gift shop, and purchased a $10 thing of chapstick, and tried that, but that didn't work. So when I got home the next day, I tried Carmex. I tried every single thing I can think of to try, and the more I tried, the more it burned. And so I called, and because I was still, first of all, I was still numb. So I called the doctor's office, and he asked me to go into his office, and because he wanted to take more x-rays. Well, he took x-rays, and you could see the sealant encased around the nerve in my face. Well, that's when he told me what happened. And he said that he told me that it would absorb into my system. It would absorb into my body. That it would take time, but that's where the burning in my mouth was coming from, because of the sealant being around my nerve. Well, I'm going to use this brush just to kind of feather out some of these lines here to not make it so look like an explosion. Well, come to find out, as time went on, I started feeling pain. Pain like you could not believe. Like pain just there. I've had surgeries. I've had 3 C-sections. I have 3 boys. I've had a hysterectomy. I have not felt pain like that, like I was feeling. Well, he sent me to, at this time he was still communicating with me, and he sent me to a specialist, an endodontist, to look at the x-rays and to examine my mouth. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and dry this and hold on to that thought, because I will continue when I get back. Okay, so we're all dried up now, and I'm going to go ahead and put some more pink down where the pink is going to be showing under the blue. I printed out a copy of this because my tablet kept shutting down, but I'm going to put some more pink around these areas right here where the pink is going to be showing through the most, so I can fan it out and maybe not see the black underneath. So I'm going to try that and see if that works. Fingers crossed. Like I said, this it's not going to be exact, but okay, getting back to the root canal from hell. He sent me to a specialist, which just so happened to be one of his best friends that he plays golf with. And he was an endodontist also. Well, not also, because the doctor that I went to, the dentist that I went to, or I should say so-called dentist that I went to, was not an endodontist. He was a dentist, and that was where I messed up. I should have went to a specialist that knew what he was doing. But anyway, the specialist actually said that yeah, that my symptoms, I had it's trigeminal nerve. My trigeminal nerve was damaged. Well, that was pretty much a waste of time because I went back to the dentist that did this, and asked him what he was going to do to have this repaired, or what he was going to do, because I couldn't live with that pain like it was. I mean, it was bad. It was like any kind of mouth pain already is bad, but I had the numbness along with the shooting pains, the electrical shocks, and the oh God, it would get so bad and my head would pound and I'd get the worst headaches that would turn into migraines, and just on and on. It was horrible. It was horrible. I was calling him every day, and then still trying to take care of my mom, who remember my dad had a stroke the day after this happened to me, so I was still trying to take care of my mom, because my mom had open heart surgery at a very young age. She was 47 years old, and we found out after all of this happened that she had 100% blockage in her leg, so she couldn't walk very good to take care of my dad, who was in and out of the hospital, caught pneumonia while he was in the hospital, was put in ICU, and the whole time this was going on with me, I was trying to take care of them and myself at the same time, and it was just a mess. Well, he ended up sending me to a specialist in Texas, in Dallas, at a college in Dallas. And he sent us there, and so says we were going to have a car waiting for us, that we had a hotel lined up, which we did have a hotel lined up, but when we got to, he flew us there. When we got to the airport, we had a car waiting for us. It brought us to our hotel, and then that was it. We had no more transportation. We had to get our own transportation to and from my appointment, and if we had to go anywhere, which we didn't, but if we would have had to go anywhere, we would have had to pay for it ourselves out of our own pockets. So we walked to a little place to eat before my appointment, because it was late, very, very late in the afternoon. This doctor was kind enough to squeeze me into his already busy schedule. But anyway, we walked to the school, to my doctor's appointment, which wasn't bad. It was on the shady side, and we're talking about Dallas in June or July, so it was the hottest part of the year. I went to my appointment, and he confirmed. He took x-rays, he took CAT scans, he did this and he did that. Well, he confirmed that the sealant that was injected into my tooth was enough sealant to fill 5 root canals. It was encapsulated around my trigeminal nerve in my face, and the sealant that he used was caustic. So all this while, the sealant was eating through my nerve. It was actually eating through my nerve. So on the way back from my doctor's appointment, I may need this again, so I'm going to leave it out. On the way back from my doctor's appointment, there was a bus station right across the street from the doctor's office. Let's see what color we're going to go for next. I'm wondering if I should dry this first or put the blue in and just let them mix together. Or gonna go with this blue next to put in, but I'm wondering, let's see. Let's just go for it. If I can get it, there we go. And we get to this bus stop, and we waited for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then the bus finally came. Well, we get on the bus to get back to our hotel, and it was the wrong bus. Yes, we got on the wrong bus. We could see our hotel from where we were on the bus, but it was not the right bus. They were not going nowhere near our hotel. It was about 2 miles away or 3 miles away from where the bus was turning to go back the other way, to go back on its regular, to stay on its regular route. So we got off the bus there, 2 miles away from the hotel, and we walked back, all the way back to our hotel. And I'm saying all the way back, but I'm in excruciating pain. It's 110 degrees outside, and so here we are in the middle of downtown traffic, running across 6 lanes of highway to get back to our hotel. We finally get back, and there was a little cafe next door. When we got back to the hotel, I went straight to the room. I didn't even want to exist. That's how bad it was. It was so painful. It was crazy. Well, Jackson, my fiance, has a heart of gold, that put up with me through this whole thing. He's been such a help to me. But he went to the cafe next door, and he bought every single kind of sweet that was available and brought it back to me and served me in bed. He served me sweets and I enjoyed those so much. After all of the pain I was in, I was still enjoying the sweets. Well, to make a long story short, we get back to Louisiana, and we wait to hear what the dentist that did this to me decides to do. At this point, my face hurt so bad. I was actually ending my own life. That's how bad it was. It was unexplainably bad. It hurt to eat. It hurt to brush my hair. It hurt to brush my teeth. Oh my God. It hurt to I had long hair at the time. I had to cut my hair because I couldn't hang my head over the tub to wash my hair. And I couldn't take a shower because I couldn't stand the water hitting me in the face at all whatsoever. So I cut all my hair off, as short as I could cut it, and still get away, with being a lady. I cut it as short as I could, and he then decided to send us to a maxillofacial. It's an oral maxillofacial special surgeon at LSU in New Orleans. And he took the MRI, he took the x-rays, and he did the whole, and that's who we wanted to see in the first place instead of going to Dallas. But he thought that this guy in Dallas would I don't know what he thought, but the guy in Dallas was a friend of his. It was a big old mess. The guy in Dallas was a friend of his daughter, or was his daughter's fiance's dad, or some kind of something. I don't remember, but so he thought this doctor in Texas would take up for him and be on his side and not. Well, when he got the report back from the doctor in Texas, he sends us to Dr. Kim, which, like I said, is where we wanted to go in the first place. Well, Dr. Kim did the x-rays and the CAT scan and everything, and he scheduled surgery. We went in there on a Thursday, and he scheduled surgery for the next Tuesday. And he could not believe that I was left like that for so long. And he said that if the dentist would have sent me to him right away, that he would have been able to get in there and scrape all of that sealant out, and I would have not had to go through any of the pain that I went through. That did not sit well with me at all whatsoever. And I was, not only was I hurting, but at this point I was so pissed off, excuse my French, but I was so angry. I didn't know what to do. So Dr. Kim did surgery the next Tuesday that came up. He took a cadaver nerve and replaced the nerve that was in my face with a cadaver nerve. And the surgery took 11 hours. And the recovery was horrific. It was I didn't sleep for, well, I wasn't sleeping anyway, but I didn't sleep for, for a very long time. Well, anyway, 6 months later, 9 months later, I was still having the same excruciating pain, if not worse, than before. So Dr. Kim went in. At this point, he trying anything to just alleviate the pain. So he went back in and he just clipped at the nerve completely, which was supposed to result in me not having any feeling left on the right side of my face at all, including on the inside and outside, because I didn't have any. I was numb by the touch on the outside, but had excruciating pain on the inside. But this way it was supposed to make me not have any pain at all. So he did that surgery. 6-9 months later, that surgery didn't work either. But I had to wait that long because when you're dealing with nerves, it takes a while to see if it's going to work or if it's not going to work, or and so on and so forth. So that didn't work either. So the third surgery, he did another surgery. The third surgery, he went from the outside. He cut from the crease of my neck, and he went up and I know this is going to sound disgusting. If you have a weak stomach, I would suggest you put your hands over your ears. Well, he saw it through my jaw on the right side, the back of my jaw behind my teeth, and he completely moved my jaw over, went up to the base of my skull and cut the nerve at the base of my brain to stop the pain. Well, after that surgery was done, come to find out, that didn't, well, it alleviated some of the pain, and he did clip off some other little nerves that was in the front, and you could see that on the x-ray that he did, but it didn't completely take all of the pain away. So in pain. I was still hurting. I was still hurting. I didn't know, he didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. They tried different types of medicine. The whole time going through this, I was on gabapentin, 2,400 milligrams of gabapentin 3 times a day. And that didn't touch the pain that I was going through. So I was still taking the gabapentin. Well, I got off of the gabapentin after the 3rd surgery. And after the 3rd surgery, things felt like they were getting better. The pain wasn't as bad. And he said that as time went on, that I would it would get better and better and better and better. And it made a year that I had the 3rd surgery on September the 28th of this past year. And my family doctor was finally able to get the medicine right. I'm now taking Lyrica, 150 milligrams of Lyrica twice a day, and my pain is down to a very, very, very minimal pain. On Thanksgiving Day of this past year, I developed a huge bump on my wrist. I didn't know what it was, so I went to the doctor. It was a ganglion cyst that was wrapped around the artery and attached to my ligaments and to my tendon, and the root of it was down into the joint of my wrist. So they had to go in. It was not attached to the artery, thank God. It was just a little flat brush. It was just right next to it. It wasn't attached to it. It was just right next to it. So he was able to get that out. He went down into the root of my wrist and was able to remove that. And when I woke up from surgery, I didn't feel any pain from it at all. Thank God. And to this day, I still don't feel any pain in it at all. So I was very blessed with that. But yeah, so like I said, it's been a rough 3 years, and that is why I have not been making videos. But now that everything is getting back to normal, I wanted to try to start making videos again, and hopefully that'll be it for the bad luck for us. Oh, and speaking of bad luck, in between all of that time goings on, my mother had to have that blockage in her leg tended to. They did a balloon, and they can't put her to sleep for any of her procedures because of how bad her heart is. She had open heart surgery when she was 47, and now today she is 71, and so they can't put her to sleep. They just, I don't know what they do. I guess they give, I don't know what they do, but and in between all that, this is another little story. Dr. Kim was doing an experiment to see if after the 2nd surgery, he couldn't understand why I was still feeling pain in my face when I shouldn't have been. So he gave me, he had one of his assistants administer a lidocaine shot in the area of where the root canal was done. I'm going to add a little purple to this. It doesn't have any in the picture, but I'm going to add some just because I want to. So he gives me the lidocaine shot, and I had an allergic reaction to the shot from the epinephrine. I hope I'm saying that right. Epinephrine, whatever. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I mean, I couldn't speak. I was short of breath. Finally, my fiance asked me if I was having chest pains, and I was able to nod my head. Well, the sirens started going off, and the red lights started blinking everywhere, and everybody started running in, and they come with a wheelchair and put me in a wheelchair and ran me. And this was at University Medical Center in New Orleans. They ran me to the ER. They put me on an EKG. It was abnormal, so they ran me into the ER and put me on an IV and gave me a pill under my tongue, and it was very, very scary. Well, while all that was going on, things had finally settled down, but while that was going on, we get a phone call from Jackson's son that they had just rushed his dad to the hospital because his dad had been sick with cancer. So we were tending to that also. This is rough. Well, I'm sorry, getting a little emotional here. They said that they didn't think that he would make it. They were rushing him to the hospital, and they didn't think he'd make it. Well, Jackson gets off it was his son that called, and he managed to keep it together until he got off the phone, and then he just started busting out crying. And I told him to go, go. That's your dad. I was in good hands. I was by myself, but I knew I would be okay. And he well, when he finally got himself together, and the doctors kind of helped calm him down, when he finally got himself together, he got in his car and he flew to Gonzales, to St. Elizabeth Hospital. Well, he didn't make it there. His dad died right before he got there. And yeah, that was hard. My best friend came to meet me at the hospital so I wouldn't have to be by myself. But turns out that it was just an allergic reaction. It was not my heart. My heart is good. They did a stress test the next day at the hospital with an injectable something to make my heart rate go up, and my heart rate was not affected at all. So that was a good thing. And to top it all off, one more thing. Jackson's mom had to have knee surgery because her knees are giving out on her. And but I think that's it. I think that's the last thing that happened. But I think that's enough. I think it's time for the bad luck to go away and find somebody else. But I'm happy to say that everything right now, knock on wood, is stable, in stable condition, going well. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was up with me and why I haven't been on so long. And now I'm going to speed this video up so it will not be 3 hours long. And thank you all for coming to see my work, hear my story, and thank you guys for hanging on for so long. I know it's been forever, but thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you, and I love doing videos, so hopefully I'll be doing more often. And I hope I didn't bore you to death with my story. And I will see you next time. If you're not subscribed, please do so. I would very much appreciate it. And hit that thumbs up and notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video. The thumbs up really does help. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.